What is going on, everyone? Mr. Mom Collectibles. I am back with another 1/6 scale figure review. Today it's going to be from Mondo, something I've been so excited to review for the channel. And we're going to be taking a look at the first of the Spider-Man the Animated Series figures by Mondo. Now, they came out with obviously three: the red and blue Spider-Man, the Venom, and then the black suit Spider-Man, which that's the one we're going to be taking a look at today. Now, obviously, if you're a fan of the cartoon series like I was, this probably holds a special place in your heart as a kid, and especially growing up as an adult, collecting the toys, the Marvel Legend retros, everything like that. And for someone like me who is predominantly a 6 scale collector, I am so excited someone attempted to tackle at least some of the figures from this line. Now, I'm not going to pretend that these are perfect by any stretch of the imagination. This is not my first Mondo figure. However, I have seen horror stories already with that red and blue Spider-Man with beyond even paint issues. Limbs broken, webs broken, limbs backwards, things like that. And so there's just been riddled with issues. And so I missed out on the black suit Spider-Man when it was being sold on Mondo, which was limited to 1,000 pieces. So I grabbed this on the buy and sell trade, and the gentleman who I bought it from was gracious enough to open up his brand new version and basically send me some videos just to make sure I was comfortable with the way the figure looked. Now, this video is going to basically be showing you guys the things maybe to look out for. Like I said, no figure is perfect, but I just went through the review, unboxing it, and I just want to give you guys a heads up on some of the things maybe to look out for, or rather the concerns that I had. Now, we've been watching kind of the intro clip to the birth of the black suit from the animated series. This was a 3-part series, and it's a little bit different of an origin story from the comics, but man, this 3-part series was so much fun watching, the birth of the black suit from the Prometheum X, and then also it being transformed into Venom, which this is just a great 3-part series. I still watch this even as an adult now with my kids, just having so much fun with it. All right, so now let's jump into it. So first of all, I told you I have, obviously the black suit. I have so many figures. This is just like 4, but I have probably a dozen more. I collect all black suit Spider-Man, and this one here is from the Marvel Legends retro card series, where they did the blue cell shading, which it's a love it or hate it kind of look, but nevertheless, it's so cool to have something, like I said, in that 1/12 scale, and then now we have something in 6 scale. And just off the bat, the box, the packaging, I absolutely love it. The retro look to it, the black Spider-Man, it's very identical to the red and blue, so it has a lot of the similar elements. They just made it, obviously the symbiote version. But really cool looking. You open it up, you got the window here, so you can look into, and you actually see the figure and all of the accessories. This one, once again, was not like an exclusive in the sense of there was 2 versions, like the red and blue and the Venom. This was only one version that was sold on Mondo's site for a limited time, and it actually sold out, I think, fairly quickly, within a day, a few hours maybe. And like I said, it was one of those where I was waiting for it to go, maybe on sale someplace else, but it never did. So nevertheless, so here is the figure out of the packaging. Once again, it was pretty nostalgic to honestly get this piece, and it's such a callback to the cartoon series. But looking at the accessories first, he comes with a lot of stuff, a lot of fun stuff to play with, and some stuff you have to be delicate about. So here is the symbiote pieces. You have a small one and a big one that you can actually put on him if you want it kind of like a living piece and have it extending out, on him. One piece you put on the actual neck of the figure, and then this bigger piece, which is like a flexible vinyl, like a heavy duty flexible. This just kind of wraps around, which I'll show you guys what that looks like in a little bit. And then we move on from there. We have an assortment of hands that all have their individual pegs already in there. Once again, that cell shading, which carries through, which I really like a lot. And then they give you 2 versions of the fisted hands that have a little hole there that you can actually insert the webs. And you have different versions of webs. You have like a short straight web here, and then you have another one that kind of sprays out a little bit, so you can really customize and kind of play around with what style that you actually want, which I think is really cool, that they give you a lot of those options, especially if you're coming from collecting Hot Toys too. You have that as well. And now here is the Prometheum X that the Kingpin was trying to get, which kind of kickstarted this story. And it comes fixed on a stand. And speaking of stands, man, Mondo, you really knew how to shit the bed with this one. Not even to give us like a stand with maybe like a logo print or anything like that, like literally just bare basic. And then we have this. Now, this is what you had to be careful of. I seen these broken off on the red and blue. These are two hands that have these long extended webs already attached, and they are flexible, but I have seen these broken out of the box where they're snapped right off of the hands. And what I like about these is that they have an attachment at the end that you can really insert all different forms of webbing. If you want that spray webbing, if you want just a clean straight shot, or if you want this really, really, really big spray that looks like the big spider web, you can actually insert that on there and customize the way you want it. And like I said, that wire is bendable and it has some strength to it. I don't know how that would last over time. It's a little bit gimmicky, in terms of how it would pose, but nevertheless, it's pretty cool. And then we have this piece here that many people may know from the cartoon series. This is the glove of Shocker, which was a pivotal point in the cartoon.
Shocker! You can't escape me! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth!
That was some of the best over voice acting in cartoon history. And so nevertheless, we have the Shocker glove there, and then we have the Peter Parker kind of angry head sculpt, which the paint application looks really good on it. Is it perfect? Of course not. I don't know if Mondo has the best track record for having perfect paint applications, but it definitely gets the job done. I like it. I like the look of it a lot, and it suits. It's not something I'll be putting on the figure personally for the long haul, but nevertheless. So here is the figure, 6 scale form, and it's just really it's basic, but yet there's a lot going on that just gets me excited. So we have that matte black finish with the white eyes, and then you have that blue custom cell shading that's reminiscent of the cartoon series that runs all throughout the figure, highlighting various areas of the piece itself. For me, one of the concerns I had about this figure was the paint application, but it wasn't necessarily the cell shading. It was more about the white spider symbol. I just wanted to make sure the lines were as crisp as they could be. There is a little bit of like kind of a little bit of off here on the edges, but it's nothing that I would make a huge stink over. Like I said, having Mondo, I know they're not perfect, but I just want to make sure that spider logo was as crisp as possible. I did notice some markings on the black areas that you see here, like little smudge marks. I'm going to try to get those taken out. As I said, they're nothing that is really an eyesore. The logo on the back, crisp also. The paint looks pretty good, nothing too crazy. Now, when it came to the articulation, I know from a couple of figures that I have, they're very heavy. Like if you're used to dealing with Hot Toys, Mondo's you're definitely holding just like a heavy piece of plastic is what it feels like. And so one of the things I'm usually worried about is the articulation is over bending certain areas, such as like the legs, because I don't want there to be like paint rub and have certain areas kind of rub off. Now, there's two things that did concern me about this figure, which is, like I said, it's the way that Mondo is. Number one, obviously not really crazy articulation in the head or the neck area, but I had some difficulty actually opening up my arms kind of in a butterfly position, as you can see here. The arm itself from the knee, the elbow down rotates the forearm, but trying to get those arms actually opened, like I said, to do like a butterfly, like open them up, they were really stiff. So I ended up actually using a blow dryer and actually heating them up a little bit and able to open up those joints. And now I don't have any issues. And that's what I'm indicating here in the video. I didn't want to force it. Trust me, there was times when I kept trying it, but I was just in my head thinking, don't even bother for the sake of a video, because to break this off, I just knew that after I was done filming, just heat it up, warm it up a little bit, and then that would kind of loosen up that joint, which it did. And so what we're going to do is pop this head off and just kind of play around with these symbiote pieces and put the Peter Parker head sculpt on just so you can see what that looks like. It still looks really good, but I prefer the black mask, the black suit, fully on there. And then this is the larger symbiote piece, which I assumed at the time had to go over the neck with the head off, but it did not. And so that was just a little bit of fault on mine, just trying to figure out how this thing actually worked on the figure. But once I got it on there, I popped the head back on. It's a cool effect, but like I said, it doesn't really, it kind of distracts me a little bit from the figure. So it's cool to use just for the sake of the video, so you can see what it looks like. But overall, it's not something that I will be permanently displaying with my figure. But like I said, it's a neat piece. It's something different. But like I said, he wasn't walking around the show like this, so that's why like it's a little uncharacteristic look. But I like it overall, and like I said, all the accessories that it comes with. So we're gonna try the shocker accessory now. And we're just gonna pop that hand off. The pegs are very tight, almost to the point where you maybe want to heat them up just to loosen them out a little bit, just so you don't break anything. And then here is the fist with the shocker glove already mounted to it. It seems as though each piece has this kind of same element. Like the red and blue Spider-Man has an exclusive accessory with a hand holding a Green Goblin mask. And so this is kind of similar to that. But this is pretty cool. Like I said, this is for those who've seen the shocker. Scene, as you can see here, it is a very important piece. He is a pivotal point in the story, which kind of helps transition it along from Spider-Man to Venom. And so that piece is pretty important nonetheless. Now, the one thing that I had concerns about as well, knowing how heavy Mondo figures are, was going to be the weight on the ankles. Like I said, the figure has a lot of weight. The ankles on mine are very loose. That's no fault in anything of itself. It's just the way the figure is. They're kind of hit or miss. And so when I was posing it, I had to be conscious of that. And that's something that I would, bear that in mind with anyone here, is that they're so loose that depending on certain poses, he might topple over. And, you don't want there to be any paint issues or rubs or anything like that, because it is an all black figure with some minimal cell shading. So any scuffs or marks on it are probably going to stand out on this compared to like the red and blue. So you don't want to take any chances necessarily with that. But overall, like I said, this is a great looking piece. I really do love it. I am, very glad I got it. I paid a little bit more than the retail, but I paid it for peace of mind, knowing, like I said, given the circumstances, of it being sold out on Mondo. Now, speaking of that, when this piece sold out on their website, people took to Instagram to kind of figure out, is this truly sold out? And so some people commented on the Mondo Instagram page of this figure asking, like, hey, is this really one and done? Do you guys plan on doing something else? And Mondo seemed to kind of answer that by saying something is in the works, that they will be doing something, a standard version eventually. We don't know what that is. We don't know what's going to be coming with it. We don't know what the price point is. So if you are someone that has missed out on this, I would maybe recommend, don't be paying too much over retail on the buy and sell trade, because there is a chance Mondo, and they are known for reissuing their products or putting out different versions of their products. So I could foresee another version of this, maybe with less accessories or with different accessories to separate that one from this one. By them saying that's kind of going to be the standard, I guess then this is like the exclusive deluxe, if you want to call it that, because like I said, it was only one version. But overall, I am very happy with having this in my collection. I do have the red and blue Spider-Man and the Venom on order through Sideshow Collectibles. They are slower at shipping it versus Mondo. Mondo put out all three figures already, so they were not playing games. But I'm very excited to eventually get those three in my collection together. And I do hope that despite the hiccups, and Mondo has been rectifying any issues. They have been doing replacements for people, things like that. So it's not like they're totally screwed. If you reach out to Mondo, they have been taking care of their customers. But I do hope they explore this line a little bit more, maybe give us a Peter Parker and some villains. I'm not expecting them to go crazy, but definitely a little bit more figures. But if anything, they gave us three main. I'd love to see a Green Goblin. A Doc Ock might be very ambitious because of the scale of that. But hey, listen, a kid can dream, though, right? But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Let me know if you like this. Are you picking it up? Did you get this or not? Or are you holding off and waiting, now knowing more information? Drop a like on this video. Please consider subscribing to the channel for this and so much more content related to 6th scale, 12th scale, pretty much anything. And I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. And until then, this is Mr. Mom Collectibles saying take care, and I will see you guys in the next video.